Alright, so talking about a summary of curve sketching. The more complex a function is, the more difficult its behavior is to understand, and the more useful the graph becomes in understanding the behavior. Relying on your graphing calculator is a good idea, but that cannot and should not replace an intuitive understanding of the functional behavior in the calculus tools that enable the understanding. So make sure you guys totally understand x and y intercepts, the symmetry of a graph, for example, if it's an even or odd function, the domain and range, how to know the domain and range of the certain types of functions you're working with. Continuity, is there any kind of continuity that's really being funky? Vertical asymptotes, how to find those, in other words, looking in the denominator of our functions. The differentiability, remember the differentiability can help us with critical points, extrema. It can also help us with concavities up and down with the first and second differential test, derivative test. Relative extrema can tell us, okay, are we looking at high or low? And that's by taking your first derivative and then plugging in 0 and just seeing where it's going to be highs and lows for the critical points. The concavities will tell you if the graph's going up or down, or if it's concave up or concave down. Points of inflection, Rolle's theorem tells you where you should expect to see derivatives of 0. The mean value theorem will tell you that between 2 points on a curve you should have a third point that gives a derivative of that actual line that is sloped between those two endpoints on an interval. And then horizontal asymptotes were talked about as limits to infinity. So if you found that if you go to infinity and you found a limit, you're probably dealing with a horizontal asymptote. So that's just all of the summary of curve sketching that you're going to need to know for this section. So please take your time so far, okay? Alright, make sure you know the different types of graphs you're dealing with: graphs of rational functions, radical functions, polynomial, or trigonometric, just so you understand exactly what's going on, okay? And that's it for curve sketching, or a summary of. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.